Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Monday, the 6th of May. All right, now, if you're just coming to the screens for the first time, be aware there are some major gaps here in the market, mainly on the Aussie. Kiwi yuan was about 500 points, big gap there, and dollar yen, pressure on the downside. Now, all the news, if I just switch you over here to the news pages, you'll see they're all lighting up with the Donald. He's been doing his usual tap dance on the China trade talks, all right? So he's talking about raising tariffs, putting more pressure on them, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I don't know whether this is just his usual business, the way he negotiates. He's trying to, strangle them. So I would expect trading definitely today to be extremely choppy. Now, if you're looking at the charts, I mean, there has been some significant gaps and really crazy trading activity here. Aussie, Kiwi, as I said, dollar yen also. Now, not only the gap, and I know there's a lot of people out there who think there's a gap theory. There's not. Okay, the gap will be filled at some stage, but doesn't really know when. But if you look at the price action here in the Aussie and the Kiwi, and a little bit for the dollar yen for that matter as well, it's very choppy and erratic. The European pairs, euro, sterling, sort of seem to be avoiding the activity at the moment, as is dollar CAD for that matter, but oil having a big push to the downside back to $60 from where it was at 66 last week, so it may come under pressure. All right, so that's where we are with the major pairs. Now, this is, not the day to be jumping in and going mad trying to make money, because the moves are absolutely random, right? And it's all on, Trump's comments are threats at this stage. It's not like clear action. So this is the geopolitical events. I've been talking about it for some time, saying this will come into play very quickly. And of course, Trump chose the weekend to make the announcements. And I know a lot of traders have been chopped up already this morning. Brexit, well, it continues to simmer. But because the deadline is back to October, it's taking a bit of a backseat at this stage. The technical outlook for the major pairs, well, it's pretty grey. And that's obviously consistent with the weather map there. Now, with that news, obviously Aussie and Kiwi are under pressure on the downside. And that sort of goes with their current fundamental stance. But still, it's not an easy trading situation because they're whipping about all over the place on random updates, comments about Trump, about what he's trying to do, etc. So we're going to probably wait until the North American session for things to really calm down. So I wouldn't be getting too carried away at this stage. If you are looking for a bit more insight into the week ahead, I've put a post here on the 247 Trade Zone. Have a look through that. Now, the Aussie and Kiwi with the central bank meetings Tuesday, I think Wednesday, they are going to be the key focus for the major pairs with those central bank meetings. But you can run through there and get a bit of an update on what the sort of directional views that our team has with regards to the major pairs, including that dollar index there as well. You can scroll through there and get a bit of an idea of where we think the general bias is. Right now, there's not a hell of a lot to get excited about, and I'm leaving these specifically sideways because, you know what, Aussie and Kiwi, yeah, sure, they're coming off, but they are bouncing all over the place. It's not a time where there's clear direction. If this was a central bank release and they came out with some very bearish information, it would be a straight line down. And when the bounces come back, you would be looking to sell. At this stage, because Trump's comments are basically like idle threats, and he's done this, we've seen it like 100 times since he's been in power. These threats are not enough to force the market. And you know what? I would expect in the North American session, him to probably come out and say, I was misinterpreted. Now we're having good discussions. And then you see everything correct. So just be careful around trading over the next 24 hours in particular. If Trump doesn't correct it and he follows through with some more tariffs, well, then we could probably see some decent moves in the Aussie and Kiwi, and that's when they'll really come into play as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. There's, as I said, it's one of those wake-up calls, and people often ask us, why don't you, allow open positions over the weekends? Well, take a look at the charts here at the moment. I mean, if you're into any of these pairs and you're caught long, then you just hammered, and the accounts are bled dry. So that's one of one of the major reasons why you don't have positions over the weekend. And Trump's a great case for that. All right, guys. Well, that's it from the trade team here. We'll see you in the 247 trade zone. Don't forget, go to the 247 trade zone. You can check out those our weekly directional moves there for the major pairs. All right, guys. Have a good one. Cheerio.